And I like to add a plane in form of a background image. But before I add the background image, I need to ensure that my viewport is set to a defined angle so that the reference of my image can be on a defined orientation that will be easy to adjust. I used my numpad 5. In edit mode, I can snap object selection to the 3D cursor so that my background image can be snapped to my 3D cursor. Now I can go ahead to add the background image to the scene. I can bring in my HDRI. I will be using the same HDRI. That's the image right there. And now I'm free to change my viewport with no consequence on the orientation of my imported background image. The background image is at 0 degrees and that's easy to work with. I can adjust the rotation, scale, and location of the image for it to stand perfectly behind my model as a background. I can go on to convert the image background into a mesh. I think I'm okay with the properties here and will leave them as default. After converting the image into a mesh, I can view the image as a plane in front of my model as shown. We are in the solid view, and in order to view the image, we need to toggle to the render viewport. But first, I need to move the object from the front of my model to the back of my model. Then I can scale it up and keep adjusting as I see fit. Now I can go to my render viewport to see what I have. It seems upside down, so I will go on to adjust the rotation along the x-axis by 180 degrees. I can also move it up a little bit along the z-axis. I need to adjust it to my camera view to see what my render will look like. I need to move the background along the y-axis to cover the space behind my model and fill the entirety of the camera view. Let's deselect plane to see the background image. It looks cool, but I think it can look a hell lot better. I can achieve that by making the scene a little bit brighter by turning up the brightness of the world settings. I think the scene looks a lot better now. I'll then disable the backdrop and use nodes to deactivate compositing the scene into my rendered model. I can now return to my layout. I'm good to go and can render the scene now. I think there's a chance it looks even better than the first one. Here is the final render, and I think it looks just as cool as the first one we did and arguably even better.